There are two different ways that you have access to the syllabus for your course. First of all, and this is one I have a hard time remembering, you can go to Course Resources in the main menu, then go to Course Information, and then there's a place for your course syllabus. You can access your syllabus that way. Okay, and there it is. Or, I go back to the opening page. Since your syllabus is something that I think you'll need to access relatively frequently, I've provided a menu button for you. So under the divider bar in this main menu are the things that I've added that I think you'll need to use often. Right there is course syllabus. Now that you've opened your syllabus, there are a couple of things that I'd like to point out, and if you'll read through this with me, that'd be great. First of all, at the top of the page, of course, you've got your course numbers and section numbers. One syllabus is covering both Math 175 and 175A. So here are the two section numbers and the course numbers. You're going to get 1 grade for this for both sections, so all of your lab work and your quizzes and your tests and your homework grades are all going to go in together to get to for 1 grade. That grade then will be recorded for Math 175 and Math 175A at the end of the semester. My contact information is very important. Phone number, email address. If you need to come see me in the office, I'm on the 3rd floor in Bailey's, office number 5311. Office hours are listed here, in addition to several other places in Blackboard. If you would like to meet with me in the office, you're welcome to just drop by anytime you'd like to during office hours, but it will help me if you'll make an appointment and use this Meet With Me website to do that. You will see my calendar and see when I'm available. It occurs to me that if I've got office hours showing on my calendar, it may show you as that I'm busy during office hours, and I'll fix that. So if you find that's the case, please somebody let me know. Right now we are scheduled to meet Monday and Wednesday mornings starting at 9 and ending at 10:45. We have had a discussion already in class today about whether or not we could slide that back for half an hour. Right now also scheduled to meet in room 5321, which is in the 3rd floor of Bailey. If there is a change in that, which is a possibility at this point, I'll let you know. Scrolling down the page, you can read the course descriptions, the required materials. These are things that you must have to do everything that I'm going to ask you to do in the class. You need a textbook, which is the 4th edition of the Blitzer Pre-Calculus book. It looks very similar to the college algebra book that you may have used for Math 161, but it is a different textbook, and you need to make sure you have the pre-calculus textbook. There are also videos that we're going to be using for the online lab portion. Part of what I'm going to ask you to do is to watch the videos that came with the textbook, that accompany the textbook. You must have a TI-83 or a TI-84 graphing calculator. Please don't use a TI-89. That calculator has capabilities that I don't want you to have. I do have a few 84s that belong to the community college that I can check out for students who don't have one. But if you are going to take this math class and then several others, it's worth investing in your own calculator. And then we will also be using Math Excel, an online homework site, and you need an access code to that. That Math Excel code should have probably come with your textbook if you purchased a new book in the bookstore. If you didn't, you can go to the Math Excel website. Where's my cursor? There we go. And pay for an access code there if you have a credit card or debit card. Once you log into Math Excel, then you'll need to look for our course, which is listed there, and then the access code here. Please notice that those are zeros in that access code. They are not capital O's. That's not a letter O, that's the number 0. And I hope it's rather obvious, since the lab of this course is listed as an online course, that regular internet access so that you can be on Blackboard and Math Excel is a must. We only have one Blackboard course that's going to take care of both 175 and 175A. So you don't need to look for two courses. There's just going to be one course in Blackboard when you see it. And let's see, I'll leave a lot of this to you to read. Let's see. Student requirements is the other next thing I want to point out. Make sure that you attend class. You're not going to be learning what you need to learn if you're not in class. The 80% attendance rule that CCC follows, basically for a course like ours, if you miss more than 6 classes, you cannot pass the class and you should drop. Certainly hope that you won't miss that much. When you do miss class, it's your responsibility to get on Blackboard and see what you've missed. I don't accept late work, more on that later. If you are absent a day that you're supposed to turn something in, you need to get that work to me turned in, even if you're not able to be in class. You need to check Blackboard daily. There'll be announcements that I put up, assignments that I put up, and especially since the lab portion of this course is online, there will be things that you're required to do on your own between classes, and the directions for what to do will be in Blackboard. You need to be on time to class. 3 tardies, arriving late, or count. It also is going to count if you have to leave early. If that happens 3 times, that counts as an absence. Item D here may seem kind of obvious, but there are a lot of students that sit in class very passively and don't ask questions and participate. The more active participation the more actively you participate in class, the more you'll get out of class and the more you'll learn. Make sure that you're prepared for class. The Math Excel homework assignments typically are going to be due a week after they're assigned, so you have an entire week to work on them. That does not mean that you should wait 6 days before you start on it. It's my expectation that you will do the homework assignment before the next class period. That way, if you've got questions on any of the problems, or if there's something you just didn't understand from class, you have a chance to get some help on it, and I don't have to extend any deadlines. Item F there. Keep class notes and assignments organized in a notebook. And I'm having trouble with my mouse there. Please forgive me. It's been my experience and my observation that students who stay organized typically do better in a math class. So get a notebook, loose leaf notebook, keep your notes in there, keep your homework in there. Handouts and things that I'll give you need to go in that notebook. And the neater and more organized you are, the easier it is to go back and study, the easier it is to find things when you need them, and the better you'll do. Item G is courtesy. Please don't use cell phones in class. I expect you to turn your phones off. When you do come to class, I will be doing the same thing. If there is some type of emergency, like if you have children at home and somebody's sick and you need to leave your phone on, that's fine. Just let me know ahead of time. Keep your phone turned on vibrate so it doesn't disturb the rest of the class, and just step out in the hall to take the call. And we won't have a problem if there's an issue like that, as long as you let me know ahead of time. And then obviously, please don't send or receive text messages during class. It's rude, for one thing, and for the other, you're not paying attention to what's going on in class if you're playing with your phone. So, scrolling down. All right. Evaluation. How you're going to be evaluated this semester. Your final grade is comprised of tests, quizzes, and labs, kind of all lumped in one category, homework assignments. There is a project that we'll talk more about later, and your final exam. We'll have 3 tests this semester. Each one of them will count 10% for a total of 30%. Quizzes and labs and homework are each going to be 20% of your grade. Your project is going to count 10% and your final 20%. I work on a 10-point grading scale. So if you have a grade that's in the 90s, you're going to have an A. If you got a grade in the 80s, you'll have a B, and so on. Attendance is extremely important. I will take attendance every time we meet class. If you miss more than 6 classes, you will receive an F for the course. And I don't really, I mean, you need to communicate with me why you need to be out. Please, stay in touch. But there is no designation between excused and unexcused absences. You are responsible for material that is missed if you are not in class. You're going to need to check Blackboard to get your assignment. Any handouts or anything that I've needed to give in class will be posted in Blackboard for you. It's your responsibility to get things turned in on time. If you miss class the day we have a quiz, there are no makeups. You'll have a 0 on that quiz. At the end of the semester, I'll drop your lowest quiz grade. If I'm looking at quizzes and labs all together, there will probably be enough grades at the end of the semester that I can drop at least 2 of those, your 2 lowest grades there. There are no makeup tests. So if you're absent on test day, there are only 3 test days this whole semester. If you're absent one of those, you have a 0 on that test. As long as you're communicating with me and I know what's going on at the end of the semester, if your final exam grade is higher than one of your test grades, and if you take the exam, your grade should be higher than a 0, then I'll replace your low test with your exam grade. Make sure you check the website if we have snow or ice to see what's going on. I'll post something in Blackboard if we do need to make up any time because we have to miss class due to weather. Academic honesty statement coming down here. This statement will be on every assignment that you have to turn in to me for a grade, with the exception of your homework. I'm not going to put that on every homework assignment. So you need to think about what you're doing, and this is your promise to me that you've done the work and not gotten the help that you didn't need to get. Here's a list of the topics that we're going to study by chapter from our textbook, and then special dates at the end of the page here. You want to make sure that you check the course calendar, the course schedule, in Blackboard for the most up-to-date list of important things.